they're not down with each other. You know what I'm saying? Unless the Mexican was brought up in the black hood, or the black was brought up in the Mexican hood. You know, and I'm just thinking that maybe a couple of these black fools probably saw this Mexican kid. You know, he probably saw him. He's like, hey, it's a good-looking kid. He probably had some hot tamale girlfriend, swinging on his Johnson or something. And Tyrone and his friend out there in TSA decided, hey, you know what I'm going to do, man? I'm going to go out and search this motherfucker right here, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to make him look stupid in front of a girl, baby. I mean, I'm just serious. I'm serious. Anyway, folks, I mean, look, I know that people are thinking, oh, I'm a bad guy, I'm getting racial. Hey, you want to know why I get so racial? Because I think race is stupid. I think the whole concept of race and culture is trivial. It's prehistoric. It's primitive. You know? I mean, I think it's a disgrace that we still acknowledge the whole racial factor of the human equation. Moreover, I also think that it's ridiculous that we acknowledge this whole nonsense of theocracy. You know, this idea that my God's wee-wee is bigger than your God's wee-wee, so I'm going to go out and kill myself for the name of my God. You know what I'm saying? I also think that these stupid primitive concepts of, nationalism, political romanticism, these types of concepts are primitive. We don't need them. I mean, we're in modernity, man. We're in modernity. We don't need to be acknowledging these old primitive concepts of mankind. This is the old world. This is old world mentality, for Christ's sake. I mean, a report came out yesterday that right now, the people that are being born right now, we are actually being born in the generation where we're going to see our first 150-year-old person. And here in the next, what did I read, 25 years? In the next 25 years, we're going to see our first 1,000-year-old person. I mean, this is the day and age of modernity, for Christ's sake. We don't need these old world concepts to keep us stagnant in our mediocrity. You understand? We should be exploring space. We should be colonizing planets. We should be doing things of the future, not holding on to the past. And that's what these human beings are doing right here, right now in today's world. They're holding on to past primitive concepts that we should no longer acknowledge. And I'm talking about cultures. I'm talking about these nationalist ideas. I'm talking about political romanticism. I'm talking about theocracy. We no longer have to hold on to these ridiculous old concepts of justified life, because we know we are the kings of this world. We've turned hell into heaven, for Christ's sake. I mean, just imagine the first man walking the face of the planet, minus any electricity, minus any clothes, minus anything, and having to build its own sustainable survival type of situation on the world. Just imagine from that primitive point to now. And it's not time for us to stop. It's not time for us to stop, for Christ's sake, and say, oh, yeah, look, we accomplished so much on this earth. And, we just got to sit here and live in stagnant complacency until the end of time. Bull crap. Bull crap. And that's why you have a lot of these idiots in the alternative media movement, all right, trying to affiliate me with these stupid, dumb conspiracy theorist concepts like the New World Order, like the Bilderberg, the big banks. They've grouped me with the shape-shifting lizard men. They've linked me with all this crap, and the reason is because they want to hold on to their mediocrity. They want to hold on to their ridiculous, pathetic, simplistic view of what life is and continue that particular lineage on forward through their damn family. And what I'm saying is that it's time for us to go beyond this. It's time for us to realize that humanity has gone beyond design. We've gone beyond the design. I mean, we can control nature. We can control nature. We can manipulate nature. I mean, we can blast ourselves into space. We can do so many things out here, and the only thing that's holding us back is the ignorance of the masses. The ignorance of the masses is what's holding humanity back. The ignorance of the masses is what's preventing us from catapulting ourselves into that futuristic age that we were sold 20 or 30 years ago. And that's why I'm calling on everybody throughout the international community. I don't care what race you are. I don't care where you're from. All right? This is one world. We're all the same human beings. The only thing is that we have to acknowledge that we have conquered nature, and it's time for us to progress forward instead of sitting here wallowing in our own mediocrity. And that's all there is to it. All right? I want to hear from you. What do you got to say about it? 646-652-4869 is the number to call, for Christ's sake. I know there's a lot of people out here saying, "Oh, that's not right, Ghost. That's not right. I don't like it." The only reason you don't like it is because you're primitive. You know, you're primitive. And that you need to maybe enlighten yourself. Give yourself a little bit of enlightenment. Illuminate your mind and realize that, we're not stupid meat bags. You know? We're not animals on the planet. You know? We're something better. 646-652-4869 is the number to call. I want to hear from you, folks. I want to hear from you. We were talking a little bit about the TSA warning airlines about explosive implants, which is just another excuse for these idiots to feel up on your girlfriend's breastises. But I want to hear from you. What do you think about all this? I want to, I'm curious. I'm definitely curious. Area code 917, you're on the horn. 917, you there or what?
Oh, sorry. Can I go back to education for a second?
Go for it.
It's more about investment, I guess. I'm a junior right now, and I have a summer job, and I want to get into stocks, right?
All right.
And, so I know it's dumb to buy, one share of Apple, so do you have any, recommendations on small stocks to kind of get, started?
I don't necessarily want to, get anybody towards a specific stock at this point in time because a lot of the interest that I own, I'll be basically pumping on this particular broadcast, and I don't want to do that given the fact that we're having some new regulations by our government that are going to be put into place. And that's why I don't do any more portfolio stock picking any longer because the government is regulating this crap to the point where, these idiots will take you to court. So I really can't suggest, to you about a particular stock. But if you do want to talk about stocks, you should join the capitalist army. You know what I'm saying? And discuss with us in the discussion forum posts, and we'll see what's going on. But one share of Apple, no, don't even try. Don't even bother. Don't even bother. Let's take another caller here. 541, what's up? You're on the air.
Hey, Ghost. I was wondering if I could backtrack a few subjects to all this corruption going on in the government.
Go for it.
All right. Well, I was talking to my friend Luna yesterday, and of our local government, the leader over there is doing some crazy shit, too. It's not just in the federal government or the state government.
Well, of course. Are you kidding me? I mean, I know this. I mean, I know that states and municipalities have been completely incompetent. I mean, we have a bond crisis. We got a bond crisis where, the plausibility of municipal and state bonds going default is highly probable. It's highly probable. And, I think it's rather disgusting that nobody talks about this particular subject matter because, at some point in time, we're going to have to see the government, and I kid you not, mark my words, at some point here, we are going to have to see the government come in and bail out the states. That's right. They're going to bail out California. They're going to bail out Illinois. They're going to bail out Florida. They're going to bail out all these idiots. And it's ridiculous and it's stupid. And why did the states and why did the municipalities go default? Well, I'll tell you why. Because of the incompetent American government that is elected by and for the people. We need voter reform. And we need voter reform now, for Christ's sake. And that's the only thing that's going to change this country. The only thing that's going to change the political process of America is if we have voter reform. And let me explain this. It's not very hard. It's not very hard to change. Now, what am I proposing? What am I saying as far as voter reform? I've said this many times, and of course the avid listeners know what I'm talking about. We need to make sure that every American citizen doesn't have the right to vote. Yeah, I said it. I don't believe that every American citizen should have the right to vote, all right? You know who I think should have the right to vote? Do you know who I think that should have the exclusive right to vote? Capitalists, baby. Capitalists. They should be the only exclusive party participating in the political process. Now, how do we know you're a capitalist? Well, it's very simple. It's very simple. All you have to do is work for a living, pay taxes, and don't collect any entitlements. And by God, you are a capitalist. If you oblige those particular three things, you're a capitalist. All right? Work, pay taxes, and don't collect government entitlements. It's that freaking simple. Now, how do you implement such a voter reform strategy? Very simple. Very simple. Before you go into the voting booth, you have to show a tax return showing that you actually contributed to the government that you were voting for. All right? It's as simple as that. It's that easy, for Christ's sake. And that way, we don't have these losers that are basically voting for the politician that promises them to give them more money in their government cheese account or their food stamp account or more housing voucher programs. I mean, this is just extortion. This is public extortion. I mean, this is buying votes, for Christ's sake, by a leftist politician coming in and saying, hey, if you elect me, I'm going to up your increase of food card stamps of 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 20, whatever percent. And that's all there is to it, man. I'm talking about the capitalists. We should have the political say-so. We need to assert our authority in not only this country, but every country throughout the world. The capitalists. We're the ones that fund these little people in government. We're the ones that fund the mechanism of the governing system. We fund this. And yet we're getting the shaft, and yet we got these goddamn government bureaucrats waving their finger in our faces saying that they want to tax us, saying that it's bad to be successful, it's bad to be prosperous, for Christ's sake. I kid you not. Give me capitalism or give me death, baby. Do you understand that? Capitalism to the soul till the bullet hole. You understand? I'm willing to die. I'm willing to die for capitalism, baby. That's all there is to it. All right? I'd rather die than to sit in some goddamn bread line waiting for a loaf of bread from Big Brother government. And that's all there is to it. Anyway, I want to move on to another subject matter. We were talking about how the TSA is warning the airlines of explosive implants, and I'm just saying that, this is another excuse or just justifying the TSA's reasoning on groping you, molesting you, penetrating you, whatever. But I want to talk about another subject matter out of California, since we're talking about states defaulting. California is set to put a U.S. gay and lesbian history class in the public school curriculum. The only signature that it needs is the governor of California, what the hell's his name, Brown, whatever the hell his name is. That's it. It just needs to sign off the bill, and they will have gay and lesbian history class in public schools in California. I kid you not. I kid you not. All right? I mean, what is that supposed to mean? What kind of history are you supposed to teach in, like, gay and lesbian history class, you know? Yeah, well, then came the 80s. And then when the 80s came around, there was an infatuation of putting rodents in the anal passages of many homosexual men. One in particular, Richard Gere, all right. But you know what I'm saying. I mean, what are you supposed to say in a homosexual lesbian history class? Huh? I mean, give me a break. Yeah, Franklin Delano Roosevelt's wife actually was muff diving on the secretary. I mean, come on! I mean, this is California for you. You know what I'm saying? This is California for you. They're going to mandate gay and lesbian history. Now, that's going to be taught in California. How you like it? How you like it? 646-652-4869 is the number to call. I want to hear what you have to say.